Well, welcome everybody to our special meeting today at noon. I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Bajent.
Here.
Clegg.
Here.
Halliburton.
Here.
Willits. Here. Woodings.
Here.
All present.
Well, thanks. We've got pretty much one order of business today, and that's under special business. And before we take the appointments individually and ask for nominations, I want to thank everybody that was part of this process. It was a really deliberative process where we had 54 applicants committed to this community that sought to be named for these positions. I see one of them here today. Thanks for joining us. It was an honor to first read so many applications on why people wanted to serve this city that we all love. And then to have an incredibly rich group of finalists from which I chose the two nominees that are before council today. And for me, what I looked for was, given that one of the most pressing, if not the most pressing issue for our community is the availability and affordability of housing, were applicants that were committed to partnering with council on coming up with any and all solutions we can to provide homes at Boise budgets for Boiseans at this time. New members that would be able to hit the ground running, ready to serve, and of course, that would have the support of our city council, which is part and parcel of this process. And so with that, I'd first like to put forward the appointment of LaTanya Haney-Keith for the District 3 seat.
Madam Mayor, I move that we confirm the appointment of LaTanya Haney-Keith for District 3.
Second.
If I could, before some remarks, I'd just like to thank Ms. Haney-Keith for her willingness to serve. In this position in particular, I sought someone that would be a bridge for this moment of time when we are, as a community, have a lot of tough issues to tackle this year and the remaining part of this year, so that the voters can then make a decision on who serves in this district in the long run. Ms. Haney-Keith is a community leader. She has a deep background in efforts to advance affordable housing and access to housing. And I really see her willingness to serve as true public service, given that this is to finish out a term prior to the next election. And then today she will be making history as the first Black woman named to our city council, and if approved, serving on our city council.
Madam Mayor, I just want to echo everything that you've said about Ms. Haney-Keith, and then also add that when I became aware of her, it was when she first started serving on CCDC. And I was really impressed by her understanding specifically of a issue that is really dear to my heart, which is childcare. And I think that was at a time when we weren't, as a community, making that connection between childcare and economic development. And since then, we all understand that that's a thing, but I think she was really a leader in that. So I just wanted to add that little bit of flavor to why I was so excited about this appointment. And I'm really excited to serve with you. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, I've voted on a lot of nominations. I've only had a couple where I had any questions, and this isn't one of those. I've always viewed my role as a city council member in confirming a nomination to determine if the candidate is qualified for the role that they're being put forth for. And quite frankly, I'm not sure I've seen a more qualified candidate for a position of city council in a very long time. LaTanya embodies what it means to be a public servant. She has proven again and again through her life that she's not only willing to put in the work, but always rises in leadership to a leadership position, and in using that position then to forward whatever the issue is. Impressive work on making sure that underserved communities have access to legal services, impressive work on housing, impressive work working with students at colleges and universities, making sure they have access to the services they need. And so very glad to vote in support of this nomination. Thank you.
All right, clerk, will you please call the, sorry, Councilmember Bajent. You were leaning in. Did you have something to say?
Well, of course, I have nice things to say about the candidate as well. I'm really looking forward to both to working with this new appointee as soon as I certainly will vote to confirm her. Everything the mayor said about public service is true, particularly with the bridge appointment. This is truly a selfless act, and I'm very grateful for the gift that she'll be giving to our city, and I will certainly make my personal commitment to be as helpful as I can. But most of all, I'm just really looking forward to working with this talented, high caliber person who I've only brushed shoulders with occasionally, but heard so many good things about. So, Madam Mayor, I can't wait to vote yes.
Thank you. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Bajent,
Yes.
Clegg,
Yes.
Halliburton,
Yes.
Willetts,
Yes.
Whittings.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
Well, congratulations. What we're going to do is we're going to take these two nominations and then I'm going to crutch my way down to swear Ms. Haney Keith in, at which point she'll join us and make some remarks, just so that the folks are aware of how we're doing this today. I should have said that at the beginning. The next nomination that I have to put before City Council.
Madam Mayor,
Oh,
whoa, before you do that.
Oh, yes.
I think
Oh
we
my
have to
gosh, that's
vacate a
right.
seat so that you can nominate.
so that
for
there
it.
is a seat to fill. Yes. So, and I want to point out a clarification. We had originally hoped to be doing this last Tuesday, but that was the day I ended up having to have surgery. And so appreciated that the council member Clegg, rather than resigning at pretty much midnight Tuesday morning on the 28th, stayed through so that I could have surgery, recover, and then we could take this up when I was able to join the council again. So thank you
You're
for
welcome.
your slight extension of service. And with that, I'll hand it over to you.
Well, thank you. I have a letter that will be hand delivered to the mayor that I've signed, and I just want to paraphrase a bit of it. Wow, I did not cry that night that we had the party, but today's going to be a little different, I guess. So it's been a great honor of my life. Thank you. I have a Kleenex in here. It's been a great honor of my life to serve as representative on the city council in seat 5 for almost 20 years. I've enjoyed the support of many citizens and wonderful support from city staff, and have been assisted in the success of many actions for the city and by the city council and mayor, because I've been fortunate to serve with many principled and well-meaning and hardworking city elected officials who for the large part avoided politics, and because of their great commitment to this city have continued to make it a really great place to live. And I think together we've been able to do that work, and looking at these two nominees, I think that work is going to continue. There's a lot of things that have been accomplished in those 20 years with all of that help, everything from comprehensive planning and land use to better transportation policies, improving funding for transit, developing master plans and bikeways, building the first LEED building in the city, and seeing how that led to acceptance of sustainability policies that previously had been resisted a little bit. And more recently, finished all of the parks that were in the system. When I took office, there were more than 20 park sites that had not been developed, and all of those are now developed. And in addition, we've added the goal of a 10-minute walk to parks. So it starts that cycle all over again. There will be more park sites, and we just purchased one recently to make sure that that 10-minute walk can happen. And Madam Mayor, your support over the last few years through this really difficult time on housing, on the City of Trees Challenge, on restoring passenger rail has been amazing, and it has furthered those initiatives, and I know will make them durable into the future. So thank you. Last fall, I decided to go in a new direction. I'm excited about that. I am hopeful that I can use my energy and my skills to continue to help the city in a different way. And decided that it was best for both the city and the transit agency if I focused my work on the transit agency. And so with that, I resigned my position for seat 5 as city council member. Thank you. Now I get to leave.
Thank you, council member.
Thank you.
No. Make it really hard for me. Thank you, Elaine, so very much. And next up, we have the appointment of Colin Nash for the at-large seat. And I'll just say this now, actually, rather than waiting for for a motion. Colin, I'm putting forth Colin's nomination also because he is ready to jump in, and he's proven his depth of knowledge and ability to deliver solutions on housing affordability, housing access, renter protections. He himself is a renter that lives in the Winstead neighborhood with his family off of Fairview Avenue. And in talking with his colleagues in the Democratic caucus about his application, they didn't want to lose him. And at the same time, they couldn't help but talking about how effective he's been from a budgeting perspective as a team member. So team member for this council, and in coming up with solutions for the issues that matter to each and every one of us here in the city. And so with that, I'd like to put forth Colin Nash as my nomination for the at-large seat.
Madam Mayor, I move that we confirm the appointment of Colin Nash for the at-large seat on Boise City Council.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, I would like to, thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to add a little bit of flavor about Colin as well. It's so fun to have these interesting stories about both of these nominees. But with Colin, he was really instrumental in the way that we developed our redistricting process for the city. He has a depth of knowledge and policy around the way that the state districts. And so I really leaned on him as we were figuring out how we did that transparently and made it into a resident-led process for the redistricting of the city. I appreciated his knowledge and expertise and also willingness to share it with me whenever I called him. So I'm very excited to work with Colin on very complex policy issues that we have coming up, as well as budget.
Madam Mayor, I wanted to save all my comments for one time. I don't think anybody here needs to hear from me 3 different occasions, both for Elaine, Latonia, and Colin. One of my goals that I vocalized when I very first started on city council was to be a really good team member. And that included, helping people where I could, but also learning from people as much as I could along the way. I feel very, very fortunate to have gotten to learn so much from every single one of you, and certainly from Council Member Clegg and Council President Clegg, that I'll always think of you as my first 3 years here. And that really is my commitment to our new council members as well. I'm so excited to work with you to help where I can. Frankly, I'm slightly intimidated, Latonia, by your incredible resume, and I know that I have so much to learn from you and from Colin as well. And as much as I am here to help, I truly am here to learn from you. And I really think that council, while there are times where we have different opinions and different representations that we have for our community that we serve. We have to still be able to operate as a team in a way where we can work together and when we can disagree in a way that's functional for our city. And that may happen from time to time, but I am committed to being a good team member with you. And again, I'm so excited to work with you, so excited to work with Colin, and so thankful for my time that I've got to work with you as well. Thanks, Elaine.
Oh, all right. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Bajent,
Yes.
Halliburton,
Yes.
Willetts,
Yes.
Whittings.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
Well, congratulations to Colin Nash, our new council member for the at-large seat. Before I head down to swear in Ms. Haney Keith, I want to say a couple things. As you probably noticed, Colin's not here today. He's actually still just a couple blocks down the street serving at the State House to make sure that there are enough votes to uphold the governor's veto of House Bill 314, which is the bill that targets local libraries and our librarians. And I want to thank him for that service today, that we needed his vote there today. And I want to say this, that as your mayor, it is my duty to make sure that our city remains a place of intellectual freedom and democracy, where the free exchange of ideas is encouraged and protected. This bill, which seeks to ban certain books from public libraries based on political ideology and frankly, discrimination and targeting towards our LGBTQIA+ community here and throughout the state, is not only unconstitutional, but it's a direct attack on our dedicated librarians, who I would call heroes in this moment, that work tirelessly to provide access to knowledge and service for everyone in our community. The bill impugns the motives of librarians and implies they can't be trusted to provide access to appropriate materials without heavy-handed censorship and threats. And so let me be clear. The team of people who work in our city libraries, our librarians, are an essential part of our Boise family. They hold themselves to the highest standards of professionalism, and daily they embody a commitment to our American ideals of free speech, free thought, free access to ideas, and opportunity for everyone, from kiddos on up. And I stand with our librarians today and every day, and am deeply thankful to them, grateful to them for the service that they provide. You know, it's interesting, just the other day, my daughter told me that one of her dearest friends from college is going to graduate school for library science. And I was so both surprised at the fact that she would choose to do this in this moment, given around the country, the targeting of librarians, but also really inspired by the fact that this young woman would be so committed. She's a history major, has worked in the Library of Congress, but so committed to libraries that she would choose to head in this direction right now. And it's that commitment that I see every day by our librarians that we have to remind ourselves is key to protect, and that we can't stop protecting librarians, protecting free access to ideas, knowledge, and opportunity, and standing with people in our community amidst the attacks that we see more and more every day. And this bill threatens to destroy public libraries, treasured cornerstones of our communities, by allowing anyone, regardless of their intention, to collect thousands in fines if their personal sensibilities are offended, or to at least try. This is creating a bounty system that would be forced onto Boise taxpayers and create the kind of liabilities that would probably prohibit our kids from libraries altogether, and fear of being charged for taking on the job to serve your community that you're dedicating to take on. And so I wish that Colin was with us today, but when he called to say that they had been called back, I thought it was one we needed to continue, but really really a perfect reason for him not to be here at this moment is to be there to uphold the governor's veto, because vote by vote, it's going to count, to make sure that our librarians and our libraries, and ultimately each and every one of us, and our access to opportunity is protected. So with that, I'm going to step down and ask Ms. Haney Keith to join me at the dais. And I'm not coming. Oh, no, I'm going to come back up because she's going to come back up too. Everybody's seeing me ungracefully trying to move around. Just got word that just now the veto was sustained and Colin Nash and his family are running down the street. So we'll go ahead and start with your swearing in, but then before we adjourn, I'd like us to wait for Colin Nash to arrive so we can finish this today all together. And I'll sign them at the end rather than.
Hey, lady.
Do the signing afterwards so that we can get a pen. Okay. All right. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Latanya Haney Keith,
I, Latanya Haney Keith,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of District 3 Counselor
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of District 3 Counselor
of the City of Boise according to the best of my ability.
of the City of Boise according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You want to say it? You want to say anything now?
Well, I just want to say that I am very honored by this appointment, and I very much look forward to working with each of my fellow council members going forward, and that I will faithfully serve the District 3 during this period of time. And I thank you all for coming today, and supporting.
Thanks. You can go ahead and take a seat. We can all go at ease for a couple minutes. Not that that's a thing, but. So Colin, I was just told that I can move faster than you right now. But it's great that you finally made it those 3 blocks from the State House. Welcome. So before you got here, your nomination was approved.
Great.
And so now to complete this, I'm just going to ask that you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Colin Nash,
I, Colin Nash,
do solemnly swear that I'll support the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and that I'll faithfully discharge the duties
and that I'll faithfully discharge the duties
of at-large counselor for the City of Boise
of at-large counselor for the City of Boise
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
And Colin, you're welcome, of course, to say something to your family, but then to join us at the dais. And if you'd like to make any remarks before we adjourn, you are welcome.
I'd like to thank everyone for their patience. We did sustain the governor's veto by a single vote, so hopefully that was worth it. And look forward to getting to work and getting to know you and executing my duties here at the City of Boise. Thank you so much.
All right, Madam Mayor, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.